crush it with Maize-X canola. Maize-X Seeds is 100% focused on Canadian farmers. Your source for high-performance grain, silage, and grazing corn, as well as soybeans and, new for 2026, canola. Visit maizex.com to find your local Maize-X representative.
And joining me now, it's time for just a really exciting conversation that I'm looking forward to. We've got World Mental Health Awareness Month coming up in October, and we need to be ready. And there are some very cool ways that we're going to be ready to bring mental health awareness to the agriculture sector. Joining me now, Dr. Merle Massie with the Do More Ag Foundation and Leta LaRush with BASF. Leta, I'll start with you. Today we're going to talk about the Talk It Out tag that the Do More Ag Foundation is going to be kicking off October 1. From your perspective, why is something like this initiative so important for the sector?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Lindsay, and really good to have the opportunity to talk about such an important topic. And, from BASF's perspective and as industry leaders, our goal with participating in this campaign is really just to create a space for us as an industry to be able to have authentic and meaningful conversations and really break some of the stigma around mental health and ag. We really see our role as, not just being a crop inputs and seed provider, but really help building community in agriculture. And I think in order to have a successful agriculture community, we also need to be able to talk openly about mental health and support our customers and our industry in this area. So really excited to be here today. I brought my cards so we can talk it out after. But yeah, that's why we're here.
Right. Okay. And so Merle, I'll bring you into this conversation as well about these cards. This isn't the first year for Talk It Out Tag, but it really took off last year, and so we're hoping to make a really big splash with it this year. Tell me about sort of how this came to be, and then we'll dive into what this all will look like in October.
Absolutely. Well, so the Do More Ag Foundation developed our Talk It Out tag cards. So there's a box with 150 cards in there, and they're designed to generate discussion and for people to find a better way to create a sense of connection with one another. And BASF came to us last year and said, those cards are amazing. Let's set up a tag. And so last year, this was just before I joined the foundation as the executive director. And so throughout October last year, for World Mental Health Month, BASF and Do More Ag and a few others started to go online, take a video, pull a card, read the card, answer the card, and then tag someone else, either across BASF and Do More Ag. And it really took off, particularly within BASF. It's amazing to watch a strong industry leader like BASF standing up and saying, this is important. We want to be not just seen, but to be in the lead of this because it matters, not just across the industry for BASF itself. It was phenomenal.
And so this year, really sort of taking that success from last year, leveraging it for this year. I know the RealAg team is going to be, of course, involved in this. Leta, how does it start? Are you going to be kicking this off? Is this sort of going out to everybody? How do you encourage people to participate in this Talk It Out tag?
Yeah, so anyone can participate. It doesn't need to start with me. I actually think it was one of my colleagues on our leadership team who kicked it off last year. And how it essentially works is we create an opportunity for people either online or by purchasing the cards to pick a card and then respond to that story and record a short video of themselves. And there we go. I think Meryl's going to set me up here. But, record a video just responding to whatever that question is. And then they have the opportunity to tag someone else in the industry to either answer that same question or pull a different card. And the questions are they could be as simple as, what's something that you've learned working in the agriculture industry, or how do you cope with stress? So it's really just to facilitate a dialogue, to promote mental health and well-being within our industry.
So Merle, from that perspective, do you want people to think about, someone they think would be really great at answering this question, someone they know will pass it on? What do you hope, or what guidelines would you give somebody who wants to participate?
I'd love to have lots of people participate, and we do have sort of an official tag kind of tree that's going to be going across the month, just to make sure that, everything gets going and not everybody does their video on day one and then there's nothing else happening across the whole month, because we want to make sure that people are thinking about this and paying attention to it, not even just across October, but even beyond that. But in terms of who is a good person, this is actually a really good opportunity. As we move more digitally and online, I know that I'm finding that this has been a really good opportunity for me to practice my skills in, turning the camera on myself, being real, sharing who I am out right across Canada, because that sense of connection is what really matters. And it's what really drives the conversation. And so that's what we're looking for. So use this as an opportunity to practice, or if you're an old hand, by all means, jump in. And the thing is people could jump in at any point, because we do have the cards, physical cards, so you can order those from the Do More Ag Foundation, but we have put a selection of cards online as well. So if you check out the Do More Ag website, we do have a selection of cards on the website, and we'll be changing those up across the month as well, just to make sure that the content is fresh. But each of those questions is set that people are going to answer them in different ways depending on their own situation. And so I think it's going to be a great opportunity to share a little bit about who we each of us are and to connect just that bit more.
Absolutely. Now, and Leta, that these cards, I mean, there are physical cards, you can order them. And yes, it's a great fit for the month of October and for this. But of course, how else do you think we could see these cards being used in other businesses, organizations, farms outside of just this month or just this campaign?
Yeah, it's great. So I keep them in my office, as you can see, and they're also just really great conversation starters as you're working to maybe get to know your colleagues or industry partners a bit better, right? So I could, certainly see a scenario where someone's just picking up one of these cards as part of their, regular check-ins with someone that they're working with, just a way to maybe have an icebreaker or start a conversation. I really think that the foundation's done a great job with, and I think you alluded to this, Merle, the way they've developed the questions is you could take it in a lot of different directions. And at the end of the day, they really just create a safe and open space for, conversations and opportunities for people to share their personal experience. It could be some of their challenges with mental health. It could also just be some of the ways that they're thriving and maintaining a healthy perspective. So I don't think it has to be limited to the month of October. They're a really fun way to get to know each other better and build your relationships.
Lindsay, if I could just add in and share, I heard about a farm that pulls them every morning as part of their toolbox talk first thing. They kind of have a little safety moment and a little mental health connection moment. And so they will often use the cards there. And they have reported back to the Do More Agriculture Foundation that it's really created an interesting social sense amongst them and a higher sense of connection. So there's another way that we've seen farms use the cards and being used right across the industry, exactly what Leta said.
Mm-hmm. I can absolutely see that, of where sometimes I think the toughest thing is just knowing what to ask or what to say. And it really just gives you, and if you pull a card and you're like, not feeling that one today, there's more. Just pull a new one and do something else. And so I'm looking forward to doing this as well. And great to hear that there'll be new ones online. So if you don't have the physical cards, or everybody keep watch out on Instagram, on those different social accounts, watch for that hashtag. Now, before, of course, I let the two of you go, what is the website where we can find those cards, and what is the hashtag we should be using when we want to create this tree, create this link between all of these people? Leta, maybe I'll ask you for the hashtag, and then Merle, if you want to share the website.
No worries. It's pretty straightforward. It's #TalkItOutTag.
All right. That is it. All right. And where can people go to find these cards, either to order or to ask a question from online?
www.domore.ag and look for Talk It Out.
Yes, it was very easy to find. I did it just before we went live here. So there you go. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. This is super exciting. We'll be watching for the launch on October 1. And I encourage all of our audience to participate and watch for that. So thank you both very much.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
All right. We'll be back with more Real Ag Radio right after this.